And who's on our list at first 5'8"? That is the first discussion. We're going to do a couple of positions here. There they are, the first fives, Garden Bishop, Aotearoa Black. We have Richie Mo'unga, Aaron Cruden and Mitch Hunt. There they are. Star player, though, star standout right now. And we saw him on the weekend, last 20 minutes. He took control, and it was Richie Mo'unga. And Mills, is this guy still the guy that you want wearing the All Black number 10 jersey?
Well, he is definitely the informed number 10 at the moment, and the brilliance that he showed, you know, in that moment when he drop kicked it out, the try that they ended up scoring where he threaded the needle, he just won that big moment, and that's what you need from big players. You know, when your backs are, you know, they've just had a try scored against them, and all of a sudden, magic. So he'd have to be right now at this very moment the informed number 10 for Aotearoa.
Well, I don't know if I can answer this properly, but...
You'll try.
I'll try. That was an amazing moment, X Factor. He is quite possibly the best first five at the moment. However, I don't think that his closest competition is playing first five. Crudes is not here, I believe. He's got a contract. And the other three aren't quite there yet. This guy is completely standout, but once again, I repeat myself, the guy that should be competing for our number 10 spot is currently playing 15 for the Blues.
And you had the All Black coach on the panel after the game in Christchurch, Mills, and you asked him that very position. What is that man on the right, Beauden Barrett's position? What did he say?
Well, he said he's a fullback playing, a 10 playing fullback. And so I think that this is where you get caught out in terms of the fact that, you know, at Super Rugby, what's his best position that's suited for a Super Rugby franchise? And the fact is, at the moment, you know, he's suited at the back for the Blues.
I believe that they would have been more successful through the course of the season. They would have had a better chance on the weekend. And this is no disrespect to Aotearoa Black, whose game has developed. He's been very good. He needed more touches on the weekend for me, Beauden Barrett, in influential positions.
Hang on.
And I look at Damien McKenzie, and I think very much the same. He is a first five playing fullback.
You annoyed me before. You annoyed me before the program. And you're really annoying me at the moment because the trouble is that the number 15 for the Blues, right, has not played number 10 for 15 months. So I'm hearing people comparing Beauden Barrett to Richie Mo'unga. We need to stop that conversation, right? We're either put them back at 10 and we say these are the two All Black 10s and let them fight it out. But what you remember was Beauden Barrett, player of the year 2 years in a row, and he used to start at 10, then go back to fullback, and Mo'unga would go on, if I remember rightly.
Yes.
Now he's at fullback.
But whose responsibility is that? I totally agree with the fact that he is. He's our best. He's been our best number 10. He's been the best 10 in the world for the last two or so years in a row. But now he's playing fullback. So whose responsibility is that then to say, well, OK, we've got to put him at 10. So he's a contender for the All Black jersey at that position, because he's not going to sit there and go, I want to play 10. I want to do the best that I want to, best for the team, and I'll play fullback. So whose responsibility is that?
Or are they saying, you play there, we'll give it to Richie, you go to Japan, and then we'll pick it up next year?
Well, playing first five, though, is such a critical position. We all know that. And I just think the influence that he can have on the game, to me, particularly given the fact that this time of the year, handling the ball, getting it at first receiver in difficult conditions, taking it to the line, which is what Richie Mo'unga does, reads, and we saw how influential he was. But this changes another debate, and that's all about who's going to play fullback then. If you start messing with this and changing with this, so many players in such great form. I mean, it doesn't make it easy to throw a couple of Crusaders in the mix and Geordie Barrett. But for Will Jordan, a young man, Mills, at what stage does he get the promotion? Is he ready for the promotion, or is it a softly approach?
Well, I think he's got plenty of competition at the moment. You know, he's had a fantastic Super Rugby Aotearoa. He's played also on the wing. He came on in the weekend, scored an excellent try, having played on the wing. But there's some contenders there, JK. So I think you give him a bit more time. Havili, for me, has been outstanding over the last couple of years. We all know what Damien McKenzie can do, but he's another one that perhaps may fall into the fact he might want to play at 10. So who do you give it to?
Well, this is one thing that my old mate Foxy always said. Well, he says two things to me. Please, your team doesn't play, JK. You don't have to pick the team. You can pick the team, but it won't play, which is a good point. But the second thing is, who would you leave out? And right now, I wouldn't leave out any of those three that are current, right, for the other two.
For Geordie?
No.
Well, Geordie,
right now, I'm saying that, you know, Bodie, Geordie and D-Mac are still doing enough
And they are loyal to players. We know that. The All Blacks give them opportunities. I look at Beauden Barrett. I look at his performances since he's been back returning from injury. And you know what, to me, it looks like, Mills? The fact you hear him talk and speak, you look at the composure he's playing with, I think he's come out of his brother's shadow and he's taken responsibility, and now he is one of the key leaders of a Hurricanes team which is starting to play well.
This is why we always talk about experience. It's maturity as well. It's finding you know what sort of suits you when you prepare at that position. And when you're at the back, it's given him a bit more time. The years have gone on a little bit. He's learned a bit more, and this is what he's coming into now. He's taken on a leadership role because he deserves that. But all of a sudden, his game comes with it as well. So, you know, all that comes from experience and maturity.
Is he playing better than his brother? They're direct competition now, right? So we've got to take Jeff, like we said before, we can't say he's got a 10. We're having this conversation, so he's a 15 now, right? Is that what we're saying?
I like direct competition because we're going to get to see it this weekend.
Yeah. And where do you put DMAC? I think that we potentially lost the World Cup because DMAC wasn't there to come off the bench when people were tired. I mean, he can start a game, he's world's best, but when he comes on when people are tired, man, he's unbelievable. So I'd go 10, 15 cover, but is Geordie better than Beauden at the moment?
But wasn't
the question?
Yeah, but wasn't that Beauden Barrett's role that he played for the All Blacks and where he was best served as the impact player? He used to just come on at fullback and carve them up.
Well, I guess it goes back to my point. Okay, well, do you want the All Black selectors to now have an input into the Super Rugby franchise and saying, well, he is our number 10, he's going to go play number 10, he's our fullback. And I'm talking about, this is why it's so good having versatility. But at the same time, whose responsibility is it? Is it now? Do you want it open to the All Black coaches to come and say, well, in the international calendar, this is where I see this guy playing?
And the great thing about all of this, we'll probably get a lot of these matchups in the North-South game.
Oh, how good is that?
How good is that going to be in late August?